for the most part. Most men actually it wasn't until the when Kevin Samuels became very popular that more men started having a conversation about dating younger women and whatnot. Now, most men don't care. Most men will date any kind of woman, just about. Especially if you ain't got no car. If you ain't got no car, his standards are like nil, or it's just very, very low, right? And of course, we have a loser female on the screen. Because let me tell you something too. We again, the loser mindset is always explored on this channel. Because in the loser mindset, the loser never thinks of taking action. They don't think about taking action. What they want to do is keep discussing and keep trying to pass off opinions as actual observations, right? So and CGA has talked about this, how again women, modern women, especially when they get after a certain age, they try to negotiate desire where they tell men what they should be attracted to. This is the same as men trying to tell a woman she shouldn't want a guy that's doing well in life. Or that's the same as saying women who want men who don't live with their mother or are predatory, or women who want men who have cars are predatory. And like, imagine, for the most part, if I wanted to, I can go into a whole spiel about, well, if you have a car, then then that means that she has to save money on transportation. She doesn't have to pay for an Uber. She can call you anytime and ask you for a ride, or if you guys go anywhere and whatnot, the money that she would use for her bus fare or her Uber, you're now absorbing that cost. You know what I mean? And then somehow I'll land on a point of, so if you get a girlfriend, even if you have a car, you should stop driving. You should give up that car because again, because she's robbing you. All right, she's that's the kind of logic they be coming with, right? So anyway, back to the whole meat policing, because this right here is the meat policing segment. I had a conversation with my little brother. Now it's a really important conversation because he's over 30 years old now, and I'm not saying that you have to do age gap dating, but a lot of men, you don't really have a concept of living a good life. Like, you don't have much ambition. Like, you don't have a dream car, or you don't see yourself in nice shit. You don't see yourself living in a nice place. Sometimes, right, when it comes to deliveries, I know I need to go in these buildings, and now that I go in these buildings a lot and I absorb the ambiance and everything, I'm like, nah, yeah, I could do this. I see it as more like, no, I could do this. I definitely got the talent. I got the genius. It's just staying focused. All right. The loser mindset. The loser mindset also says, rather than competing, I will find. Oh, I'm sorry. The loser always wants to find their way out of competing. Older women also really don't want to compete with young women. So rather than compete with them, they plant seeds in their mind and other people's mind that, oh, what we should do is, rather than be better, rather than look our best, rather than create a culture, or at least a perception of older women know what they're doing in relationships, which is like, so for example, if you think about there's an old episode of the Wayans brothers where Sean is dating an older woman and everything, and they're having a great time, and I forget why they stopped dating or what the plot was, but matter of fact, let me ask the viewer. The episode of Wayans brothers where Sean dates an older woman, what was the plot of that episode?
Wayans Bros episode Unbrotherly Love. Sean dates several women after Vanessa dumps him. He does this to prove a point and show her that two can play that game.
Let me see now. What's the other one? What's the episode of the Wayne's brothers where Sean dates the older woman?
Wayans Bros episode where Sean dates an older woman is Going to the Net, which is season 3, episode 10. It originally aired on November 20th, 1996, and features Pam Grier as Erica.
What was the plot of the episode? Oh, you're not gonna tell me. All right. Anyway, so Sean falls for older, sophisticated women. Despite his family's disapproval and their concern over the age gap, Sean is determined to make the relationship work. Unfortunately, Marlon decides that love is worth the risk of physical safety, while Sean never gets the mature levels in the relationship. Whatever. Anyway. So the point was the perception, right? Even when I was a young person, right? My perception of when you got with an older woman that she was experienced, that she knew how to cook, she knew how to be nurturing, that she kind of was already kind of the complete package, or she had game, she had because a woman, because honestly, real talk, a woman's not really worth being in a relationship with if she doesn't learn how to curate the experience of who she is. I mean, everyone is an experience, but when you're a woman, it's such a beautiful thing when you become a positive, good experience for someone, right? But you can't be like that if you just selfish. And again, selfishness comes from weakness. It's a difference in prioritizing your self-preservation and things you need to do. As in, I need to have mad eggs. So I can keep being myself. That's not selfish. But if it's two of us here and you have no eggs, and I won't give you at least one or two. Pause. I feel like it's getting gay somehow because the eggs and ball shape. But anyway, then I'm selfish. You understand? Comprehension is lost on you niggas. Let's go ahead and play this clip real quick. I'm saying, this is
some bros and one of them I was having. This is gonna be a rant about some of the weird thinking that I've heard come from a man. And one of them, I was having a conversation with somebody, and he was talking about how, men, when they get 35 or, they mid-30s, they go out there looking for somebody that's like 21. And he was explaining it in a way to make it sound like it was justified. And I was telling him, I was like, that's pervy. For somebody to be in their mid-30s, to be going to go seek somebody who is young, naive, and just fresh off the block. Because why would you be in your mid-30s seeking somebody that's 21? And he was really arguing it down, like explaining like that was like there was nothing wrong with that. And I was just very, very disgusted by that. And I'm very disgusted by any man that thinks that. And then we went even further because I was just like, this is why like so much weird shit be happening in the world, because men condone the weird shit and the weird thinking of other men, because they'll all get together, because I'm like, if you think like that, I'm sure you got some bros that you chill with, that you hang with, who think like that too, and they think it's just okay. And I was explaining to him too that like men who are in their mid-30s who go seeking younger girls are just weird. And they know that the women that are their age are not fucking with them. So they
No, that's not what that means. That's not what that means. No. It's really simple. Men are visual. Those girls look better than you. This will be the same as saying you want to be with a nigga who got a car because you're lazy. The reason why you want to be with that dude who has money is because you lazy and you don't want to work hard. See, you don't want to work two jobs. See, Maria, matter of fact, today, right, I just happened to be home because of some crazy debacles going on in my in-laws' life, but whatever, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm still, I'm here, you know what I mean? Shit, hold on.
Talk about that. If you can talk about my career, then I could talk about your life. Yes, and it should be.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be like, again, like, don't like me, that'd be like me saying, like, yeah, so I got a homegirl, and we was having a conversation and whatnot, and she was talking about how, like, yeah, like, the economy is, like, really tough. She can barely afford her groceries, and she really would love it if she had a guy in her life who could help out with that. And I was just so disgusted, like, you lazy bitch. Oh my God, you were so fucking, like, disgusting. Like, you don't want to get shit, huh? Like, you want some guy to come in your life and help you? What are you talking about? You live in America, all right? Where someone who has nothing can have something tomorrow. You want a man to come in your life and help? No, that's not that in a way it's kind of like fucked up. The reason why this stuff is important is because this person actually wants to have a conversation about who can sleep with who. We have laws for a reason. This will be the same as trying to say a person. I'm trying to think what would be a good metaphor for like escalating, like how can I say, how we label something, right? But pervy, I'm like, no. Women are the most attractive in their prime. You know that's your prime. You do not feel like Most women do not have a better body at 34 than they did when they was 24. It's just a fact. When you're a woman, if you're like what women's youth is like being an athlete. As you get older, it does not matter. Some people are amazing athletes, but for the most part, you will lose strength. You will not be as strong. At 39, like feeling like, damn, like I can't lift the same way I used to lift before. But also too, I used to be way fucking heavier. When I was over 300 pounds, I used to be able to lift 300 pounds. I can't anymore. I don't have the size. Pause. Right? But that's the loser mindset. You know what I mean? Because and this is something that is really important too. It's two things. That B word. We gotta bring the B word back around. And a lot of men will subscribe to and co-sign this, right? Because they don't think in terms of benefit. It's one thing, because I'm sorry, benefit and actual choice when you actually chose something. Most you do not live a life where you say, I want this specific thing and I'm going to get this specific thing. You live a life where like you live a thrift, everything you enjoy in life is like going to a thrift store. Whatever happens to be there, you choose from that. And sometimes that's what life is, right? But it's a difference in when you say, the retro Jordan 5s came out today. I'm going to go to the store and buy that exact colorway versus I come in the store and go to the clearance section. I go in the store and see what I can afford or what's worth me blowing some money on. And it's a decent price and also looks nice. No, coming into a store and saying, I'm gonna go ahead and spend about $5. I'm gonna go ahead and just buy. Whatever I see here that I want, I'm gonna go ahead and get it. I don't know if a lot of you even have that ambition or even ever had that experience, but when you experience life like that and you get exactly what you want, you start seeing and understanding what it means to enjoy a good life. Because the thing about this whole conversation is that for one, we have laws around it. Two, the laws and the way people talk about age gap relationships speaks to men's consciousness and improving men, at least in that regard, because you hear these stories about Brandy with the dude from Boys to Men, and there was some other story, right? And it's like, all right, the context or the part of the context that we keep leaving out is that was more normal back then. That was a different time. Just like there was a time where like, yo, you could put up a sign saying no colored allowed. There was a time where you could say we don't hire women for this kind of job. That was a different time. You know what I mean? And if you was to tell a story about that, that would be weird to kind of get hung up on the fact that happened. That's just a part of history. We don't really do that no more now. It still kind of happens, but another part of the conversation is that those are two adults. At the end of the day, I'm going to go after what looks good. You know what I'm saying? But also not only that, I work my ass off. No, I mean, I'm not saying that women in their 30s and 40s can't look good and that I can't be attracted to them or nothing like that. But men don't benefit from you being older. Matter of fact, you're not easier to deal with. You're not. And not only that, black women also feel like black men should suffer like slaves. That's what I'm saying. Like black women really feel like, yo, your history in this country, I've always known you as a slave. I've always known you to have a master. So the same, and she kind of will look at you the same way that like, if someone comes upon a dog, well, you're here and you kind of want to be around me and whatnot. So, you don't feel like you're the dog's friend. You feel like I'm the dog's owner. I own you. So like whatever you do in life, what you get is up to me. Now, I don't think it's always maybe intentional, but again, information gets passed down. Like, listen, you see this shit with Pooh Shiesty Daddy? And then Pooh Shiesty Daddy was always in jail. Wasn't raising him. And look how the boy turned out. According to that police report, he came through and that whole debacle, the whole alleged attack on Gucci and them happened days after he got out of jail. Days. That was in January. That the whole thing, the whole apple don't fall far from the tree is a real thing. You only can break that kind of stuff if you're conscious of it. But introspection is not a given. You know what I'm saying? Your ability to critique yourself is not a given. That's something that comes from after time and having a solid circle of people around you who help you to have more self-awareness. All right, because self awareness is what leads to happiness because it leads to you making better causes. The idea is that I want to live a life where I'm making better causes. I'm becoming a better person. I want you to have a good life too. It's a Six Paths TV, baby. Come on, man. No one loves you more than me. You understand?
Go out and they seek these younger girls who don't know any better. And a lot of these younger girls, like before they even realize it, because eventually they do realize it. They do realize that they got trapped into some bullshit. But it'd be a little bit too late.
Again, all these hypothetical, non-existent situations. Okay, on the flip side, right? When young women, and I had a conversation with a homegirl of mine who's around the same age as me, and every time I bring this up to women around my age, I always say, a young girl does not respect a man. I'm sorry, a young man that's the same age as her. She don't respect him, and she don't listen to him. Not only that, he can't lead her nowhere, and also those relationships never work out. They never stay together. It's usually a struggle relationship. They sharing a car. Okay.